future, when you go on a city trip or travel to a city, you will search or will be in search for some personal experience as well, just as you do at the moment. My question to you tonight is, think about when you travel now, how will you look up the personal experiences, tips and tricks when you go on a city trip? Probably you will do it the same way in 2050. You think Google will help you? You think it's a very unique feeling you get on Google? Then don't think so. When we look at the numbers, when you just look up for Brussels example, like what to do in Brussels, each month 190,000 people are looking on Google for the same thing and will see the same tips and tricks as you do. Maybe on Instagram, social media, on your very reliable friends. Or cities, tourist offices, feeling owned in your own city. And what about this one? I think it says it all. In 2050, we have to look at a different way how to get personal information, personal experiences when we travel to a city. Most of you talk about augmented reality, artificial intelligence, VR glasses and so on, but we don't know at this point what 2050 will bring. The only thing we know nowadays is that everybody who goes on a city trip will look for some personal experience, face-to-face people who they can talk to, probably that there won't be paper anymore because of the environment and so on. So we had to think about a solution that come and give a solution to all these questions and problems. Our solution seems very simple. It's a shared experience economy, a new business model. Shared, yes, because it's to a local, from a local to a tourist to a local. It's about an experience because, why? The locals tell to the tourists their information that they experienced in their own city. They go shopping, they go eating, they have a favorite restaurant, a favorite place where they can stay. So it's about their experience and they want to share it with the tourists. It's an economy, why? Because it benefits each one. Tourists, it benefits the local, but it also benefits the city. I hear you thinking, Wouter, tell me what is your solution, because it all sounds so interesting. Well, we actually created a platform. A platform, a way in which the local and the tourist can communicate to each other in an online way to come to an offline experience. So we don't stay online. Because, why? In real life, when you talk to your friends, to people, your family, you don't want to do this online. You want to do it face to face. So what is it? A tourist comes to Brussels, for example. He downloads the app, the platform, and he gets this screen. Welcome to Brussels. I want to know more about food. He clicks on the button, and he gets a map, and he sees like, okay, in my neighborhood, approximately 5 minutes away, there are a lot of locals, in this example 5 locals, who can tell me more about this experience, about food. He can choose, for example, Dieter. Okay, he clicks on Dieter and he sees like, okay, Dieter has a lot of interesting places to visit, but I want to actually see him. So he can make an appointment with Dieter. Dieter, I'm gonna go to the next one very quickly. Dieter says like, okay, I want to meet you. I want to give you tips and tricks about the city. And he says like, I want to meet you in 3 minutes in this local bar. I wait for you for approximately 5 minutes. If you don't show up, I'm off. You go, tourist goes to Dieter. You have a little talk with him, a little chat. He drinks something in this bar. He goes maybe to a shop, I don't know, the place where Dieter chose, like this is an interesting place, this means something to me. He shares his tips and tricks, and afterwards, the tourist can rate Dieter. He can say like, okay, the tips and tricks you gave me is very interesting. I give you 4 out of 5 stars or information points. Also, each information he gave, each meeting he had, just 1 minute, all right. Each meeting he had, he can earn points. So what we actually do is we make some marks. For example, we have a sign, and you can put this on your screen as a shop and say like, okay, I want you as a tourist, as a local, to come in and meet local and tourists, but also in public spaces, for example. So why would this work? Very quickly, it benefits the tourists. It's personal, it's unique, it's authentic. It's free, and it's internationally recognizable because of the local information. So a shop can say, okay, if you want to come, I put this on my screen. What is in it for the locals? Employment. For example, someone who is retired can say, okay, I want to do some interesting spare time activity. It's extra business as well, because why? The points they earned, they can redeem in the shop. For example, when you go to the bar, you can have a discount. Benefits for the city, it's more distributed flows of tourists, city budget is spent democratically, and I'm dead. There you go. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you for the nice presentation. I have 2 very small questions. First question, what do you think? Your father or your mother or your uncle or your aunt, will they use this application? You didn't hear it? No. This application.
We checked it with our other colleagues who can have the age of my mother. Or my aunt, or my sister maybe. No, I think it will, because it's very low profile, but you can also just go to the meeting points as well, so you don't have to use the app. Because of the signs we designed, you can also go to the shop and have a little chat there and ask the bartender like, okay, is there maybe a local over here, or can I just have a chat with you? And I think in 2050, applications and internet are more common than it's nowadays. So yes.
My second question, you showed us 2050. I see in 2050 we will still have a smartphone. That's okay for me. No, I'm used on it. Do you think the attitude, the behavior of the tourists will be the same as at this moment? Will there be, do we have another behavior as tourists in 2050? Do we have other wishes?
A small remark on that, and it was mentioned before, is that because of technology becoming increasingly important in our social lives, we tend to have this kind of behavior where we don't participate in any local conversation anymore. So basically, what we're trying to pitch today, and what I explained, I find very, very interestingly, is that this will allow us, using technology, leveraging technology, to have real, honest, transparent conversations with people willingly to contribute to anyone's else trip to Brussels, Ghent, or any other city. So basically, I think, if anything, physical conversation and physical meetups between locals and tourists will become more of a thing, and it should be a shame if it isn't. So basically, that's what our platform is trying to anticipate.